everybody. For my next performer, becoming a comedian was truly a religious experience. He was an art director at a religious publishing house, and he had a vision that one day he would stand in front of hundreds and tell jokes. He also, what he did is came to San Francisco and got a job as a male stripper, working somewhere around town, which is the truth. But he is one of the funniest guys in town. If you check the pink section, you'll see him at the Punchline. You'll see him at the other cafe over at Cobb's. He's working everywhere. So remember the name when you're looking in the paper, because here he comes. Perry Kurtz!
I chose Perry.
Chose Perry.
Like there was a big choice.
Perry's backstage. Let's say hello to Perry Kurtz.
He's been a writer for The Tonight Show. And ladies, you are going to love this. He is an ex-male stripper. Let's hear it for Perry Kurtz.
Hey, it's me. It's live. Welcome to the Perry Funny Show. I'm Perry Kurtz. How are you? I can't hear you, so you don't really have to answer. This is a live show. You hear laughter coming from the other comedians. We have real comedians
It's a laugh track.
And we have our own built-in laugh track. And this show is going to be basically about you. We're going to ask you to call in at the 15, the 30, and the 45. That's like 10:15, 10:30, and 10:45, with something for us to talk about, not just calling about, hey, I got a wart on my butt, because everybody's got a wart on their butt. In fact, some of them are sitting on our couch right now.
It's also called an ex-wife.
Yeah. So it's going to be a fun show. We want to welcome you, those that are listening. If you're not listening, fuck you. But other than that, my name's Perry Kurtz. I'm going to be your host as the Perry Funny Show. I've been doing comedy for now 38 years. And,
That's a lie.
No, it's true. But you can tell where my career is because I'm doing this show
and
right
you're only
now.
28, right?
So, and I'm only 28. It's made me younger.
Notice any gray hairs? I don't know.
Yeah, I hardly see the gray hairs at all.
Guys are well.
They're all down below.
Oh, there's 4 of them, and they're wrapped around my legs right now. This one's alive. It's alive. It's alive. So, as I said, my name's Perry Kurtz. You saw some of my intro. As you heard, I am an ex-male stripper, and
I don't believe it.
It's true. Can you pull up that strip one that says strip, and go to that?
Oh,
people never believe it.
I saw. I worked with you and you did this.
Yeah. Conrad's actually worked with me. Let me introduce who we've got here on the couch. These 3 lovely people. Well, that would be Dinah and these 2 guys. Right here next to me, here, David Zasloff, right there, very funny comedian. In the middle, the lovely Dinah Leffert. That's being
Miss
sweet.
Manners.
And she's toned that down a lot. Usually she screams it and then pulls it out. And on the very end, Conrad Lawrence, another old compadre of mine.
Hey, bud.
So basically it's like one chick and 3 old dicks, basically, is what the show is.
It's usually my weekend.
It should be your weekend, yeah, pretty much. We usually have the 3 dicks, so it's different this
This
time.
time I actually have a woman in the middle that actually breathes.
Really? Well, since when did you care if they're breathing? When
Well,
did
that's
that
true.
become
That's
important?
true.
She can pick and choose. With us, it's like whatever falls on our lap. It's different.
Passed out, hopefully.
Speak for yourself.
All right. Well, you're married, so it doesn't matter.
Happily married.
Yeah, very
How
happily
long
married.
have you happily been married?
A week.
Give it another 2 days.
I live in the moment. I don't count years.
He's stuck in the moment.
Live in the
Can you
moment.
run that strip one real quick? Just a couple seconds of that, and give us a chance to freshen up.
How do we get to see this phenomenon?
Oh, you don't want to see
You don't
this,
want to see that.
actually.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can put
That's
it up
why I
here.
started drinking as soon as I started working with him. Oh, that's right. I remember that night.
Oh, I think I saw this. Yeah.
Missy's still talking about it.
This is when you were 18?
I was 9 in this, and it shows you women are just much more compassionate than men. You don't hear any of the guys screaming.
This is a plug to your ass?
Dinah, you look completely shocked. You've never actually seen the real routine, have you?
You can dance, Perry.
Yeah. Dick Clark said that to me when I was on the show in '67. Yeah, you can dance, Perry, but you're really weird.
Well, now he's dead, so fuck him.
Son of a bitch.
Hey,
All right, I don't know if we want to go much further. We're probably losing listeners, but I go a lot further. So you're going to have to come see this live.
Because you're a big hit up in Alaska. The women loved you.
Yeah, they did, because they weren't used to live men. So
I know a convalescent center you could go to.
Really? That's good. I love working the old folks'
You got
homes.
the senior tour.
Breathe, goddammit, breathe. Stat, I need help. Stat. I think she's dead. Oh, no, plug her back in. Plug her back in. Yeah, so that's where I come from. That was my touring days when I used to tour. Now I'm doing things like drinking beer and smoking cigarettes. My big video. Over 1 million hits. Look that up. And in a week and a half, I'm going to be on We the People with Gloria Allred. I went out, auditioned for that, got the part, and I'll be on that. So we'll let you know when that's on. But in the meanwhile, let me introduce the guy who's looking at me longingly, saying, please say my name before I fall asleep.
I'm just going over your credits. I'm thinking Gloria Allred now. There's a real winner of
Yeah,
show.
well...
must have been hard to get on that show.
It wasn't easy. I had to act like a jerk.
It was actually got it from J-Date.
Did you have a legal suit pending?
No, we pretended to be actually litigating. They gave suits, so we have to make it up.
She's the Jerry Springer of
right, that's pretty much. And the other guy, he said he was going to drop kick me, and I said something like, "Come on, you want a piece of me?" And I started throwing my jacket off, and she told him that he can't threaten a witness; it's against the law.
Right.
And I said to her, "You go, girl," which only pissed her off even more. So it went down from
She's
there.
not a girl.
There was no way I could ever win that case.
That girl is not a girl.
So you think you'll be coming back for a repeat?
Yeah, hopefully. So this is David Zasloff, a dear friend of mine. He's been traveling for a lot, and he's married to a very young woman. How old is your wife right now?
I am 12 years older than my mother-in-law.
Hell yeah. Good
Do
job.
the math. Do the math.
But he hasn't nailed
Do
her.
the math.
Terrible at math. So she's...
Now you know why he has the gray hair.
Yeah.
I had the gray hair
That doesn't
before I
say
met her.
anything about the age of your...
It just gives you an idea. I don't want to get specific, but
All right.
it's old.
All right.
Obviously, from 12 years
But it's
old.
normal.
No, the son-in-law is not usually the father-in-law.
Good for you. I
married
mean,
to the
that's
daughter. I mean,
it's fantastic.
And she's
phenomenal.
hot, too. She's
Yeah.
very attractive.
Of course she
And
is.
she's from where?
Cuba.
See.
Cuba, which is Spanish for jealous.
Yes.
I
Unquestionably.
didn't
I
know.
like
No,
Cubans.
Cubans, which is short for I have a boat. Can you drive it?
No, I have a boat. It's sinking.
Or I have a tractor trailer that I turned into a boat, and
Right.
I still got impounded at the seashore.
I have a rubber tube. I'm praying to get the fuck out of here.
I'm floating in a refrigerator.
Because everybody hates Castro.
If anybody else wants to throw one in, please feel
You know
free.
who doesn't hate Castro? My father. That's
Really?
like he thinks he's like that was his claim to fame as a journalist, being in Cuba and locking eyes with that guy. He thought it was the best day of his life.
That was
He
the
should
bomb.
get over it.
He's just very far to the left, his politics, and he thinks, like that anyone who could stand up to our great powers had his respect. You know what I mean?
That's not the left, though. That should be the right.
It's very left.
Your father is left.
Very left.
And digs Castro. You should go back to Cuba and see what a fucked up mess he made of it.
Oh, no. I got in a huge fight with him at Thanksgiving over this entire subject.
Yeah.
Because really the reality of it, and this isn't really comedy, but he promised his people that they wouldn't go hungry, and they did.
They're starving.
They're starving,
Right.
and they
They're
need our
starving.
dollars. Lift the embargo. I have a dog named America, just so I can bring him outside and say, lift the embargo.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're starving. We went there. We made an anti-Castro movie in Havana.
We could get down and talk about this for real. I'm serious. I have a friend that almost lost his life doing a film in Cuba about a rap group named Viva Cuba Libre. They're amazing, and you should see that film. And I'm happy to plug it. It's fantastic. So I'm all about it.
Viva Cuba Libre.
Viva Cuba
I think
Libre.
I've heard of that.
Pretty good for a Jewish girl, eh?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not bad for
I went
Parangalangalikitirikwaro.
to Temple in Cuba when we were there.
You went to where?
Synagogue.
That's what they call synagogue.
How do they have a synagogue in Cuba?
There's
Yeah,
a
that's
few
the
left.
first.
Most of them closed, but there's one left. Most of the Jews left because
Yeah.
they were getting beat to
You
shit.
probably be through a drive-through. So
Anyhow, it was cool.
Look at this show making a difference.
Yeah, we're changing the world right now. We
Oh
are.
my God,
let's
we've
get
already
funny.
lifted the embargo.
Get funny.
Yeah. Well, all right. So that's David. In the middle, we have the lovely Dinah Leffert.
Hi, guys.
I like to call her Leffert because I know she hates that.
Well, it's
It's different when I say it, though.
it's not different. It's just not really my name.
Okay. But
It's-
Dinah's really her name.
No, well,
It's actually
Dinah
the same.
Leffert is my name,
Right.
but it's a street name in New York City called Lefferts Boulevard.
Really?
That my old Jewish grandparents thought Lefkowitz sounded a little too Jewish back in
Yeah.
the day. So they stole Leffert
From the
the
street.
boulevard.
Well, at least
It might as well be Dinah street name.
Well, at least it was a boulevard and not like place or lane.
Well, she does have a leopard ring on.
I have a
Beautiful.
puma ring on.
Can we get a close up of
It
that?
opens.
Leopard ring is very cool.
It opens. It has a kind of like a poison ring, but I just keep the morning after pill in it.
There you go.
There you go.
Notice how one's missing.
Uh-oh.
There it is.
Tonight could not be the night. Wow.
It bites.
You closed it like a Zippo. That was great.
Yeah.
Isn't that fantastic? You could try it on.
No.
No, you went for it.
He almost thought about
He
it.
only
thought
wants
about-
what he can't have.
That's true.
He's a man.
Just like a
that's guy
man.
thing.
Now, on the end, we've got the handsome and talented professional golfer,
I'll pay you later, okay?
Conrad Lawrence, who
Hi, guys. How's everybody?
he actually has a...
You look like a golfer.
Thank you.
He is.
It's the shoes and the socks.
It's the shoes. And
He's got a great putts. I mean, he's good with his putts. I mean, he's done a couple good putts.
Yes, my putter flutters very
That's
well.
right.
Yes.
And
that what
he's
you
been
call
around.
it?
He's been around for a long
Perry and
time.
I have known each other for, 25 years?
Yeah,
I was
easily.
going to say 30.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, 25, 30, 35, 35.
Yeah, it's going up as we sit here.
We actually worked some of the worst hell gigs you could ever even think about.
Worse than the barrel.
Oh,
Well, we did the Liquid Zoo together. That's where I met you.
that's right, Liquid Zoo.
That was one of the worst places I've ever been.
That was pretty
Oh
tough.
God, I
One of
remember.
the worst.
I remember playing the Liquid Zoo, and the first time I played there, I looked at the people sitting at the bar, and I said, you know, these people, they would have to come up a level to be lowlifes. And I actually said, so how many of you guys at the bar have actually killed somebody? And 6 of them actually went like this. They didn't even stop drinking and raise their
Just
hand.
raise the hand a little bit.
Oh my God.
I worked a gig in outside of Savannah, Georgia, military bar. It was a really tough joint. And the kid I had that night for the first time, I had picked him up at the bus station. He was from New York City, and he was Jewish looking as you could get. And he gets up on stage, he's supposed to do 15, 20 minutes.
Oh,
right?
great.
And before he could say anything, you hear from the audience, "Hey, look! It's a Jew." And it was down here
Careful,
from
you
there.
got three against one right
I was sitting there
now.
going, "Come on, man, keep going." And he took off. I never saw him again.
Yeah, I had a guy yelled that at me when I played a prison up in San Francisco. I followed a black guy who was 6'1" and a Mexican guy who was 6'4", and when I got on stage, I go, "Look, it's a Jew." And I said, "That's right, we don't go to jail, we own them." Now, you and your faggot friend shut up. And the whole left column of the room got up and walked out quietly. And I said, "That's right, don't fuck with me, because I pissed these guys off enough." They said, "I'd rather be in my cell than listen to your bullshit."
Actually, I attribute this. I know Perry from doing these halfway house jail shows, and I have to say they really meant. There was such deep comedy, and I loved how scared I was to go in there, like ex-convicts, and how receptive they were. Well, they were a captive audience.
Yeah, they couldn't really leave.
They couldn't go to, but I really got hooked to comedy in those moments of doing shows with you, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah, they were great because they are so happy that we were there. You've done it. We've all done that stuff.
I did.
Yeah,
When you
in
go
Houston.
into an audience that
Delancey Street. That was my
Delancey
favorite.
Street, and David does a lot of
We did,
NA and
prison.
alcohol.
We did a lady prison.
Oh, that's
outside-
awesome.
Ladies prison outside
Real
of Houston.
Okay, if you ever go to women's prison, I'll go with you.
I'll go just to get laid.
I did Chino. You won't get laid.
We walked out of
I will get laid.
Yeah,
No,
you'll
you
get
won't.
plenty of
You won't
pussy.
get laid.
It was Sam Kinison, Bill Hicks, myself, a couple other comics. We worked this ladies' prison outside of Houston. And this is back then when Jordache jeans were the hot things to wear, right?
Yeah.
I walked out, in these hot Jordache tight jeans with eelskin boots and a starched white shirt, and I hear these girls going, "Woo, woo!" I said, "Man, you guys have been here too long."
I walked at the women's prison in Chino, and I had a whole 20 minutes figured out. And as soon as I walked out, the women started whistling. That's it.
Yeah.
And for the 20 minutes, they kept whistling. So finally, I just whistled back. We just had a whistling conversation. And I said, "Well, it's my time to go. That's it."
Thanks. Good night. You've been great.
Whistled.
It reminds me of Johnny Cash, like going to prison and like performing for people, and there's a lot of greatness to that, but I think it's much harder for a comedian to go. Like music, you can overpower, but with comedy, you only have you and your voice.
It's
so-
harder for a comedian in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Musicians, people can talk, whatever.
Well, yeah.
When you're doing spoken word, whatever, any kind of, You're
well, they've got a
just there
script.
with the
They're
word.
stuck in that script. That's why comedy's different. Because first of all, we're presenting ourselves. It's our lives. It's art. That's why it's a more personal thing. People think comics.
It's not
have it
always
easy.
art, Perry.
Well, not what I do anyway.
You've been at the same
Definitely
shows
art.
I've been to.
Yeah.
Art and fart.
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to see if we can get a live call. Hopefully there's somebody there. Hopefully someone alive.
Does anybody care?
We got a couple of people last week that were like sharing a brain cell. I swear to God. What a bunch of doofuses. So let's see, what do we got out
How
there?
many people are watching? Can you figure that out?
I think we are up to 9 now.
9 people?
I love live
maybe
streams.
12.
Are they Jewish?
Well, I told my sister to tune in, so I'll be 10.
All right.
Tuning
so
in
we
from
got
the
10.
synagogue.
So, Chris, what's it look like? Have we got anybody calling in yet? Any phone ringing? Not a call.
Not a call.
Let me dial it with
Just
my
like
own.
home, eh?
I'll just dial with my own cell phone and have a conversation. What would we do without cell phones? People wouldn't be able to sit in an empty bar and go like this for no reason.
This is a lot of prep for 9 people.
Yeah. Well, we hope you're enjoying the show. We're glad you're there. We're glad to be together and not in front of a bunch of drunks. And you're comfortable, too. That's good. We got a decent couch.
Yeah.
It's very
You know.
Very
nice.
nice.
I could almost go to sleep.
Well, never stopped you before.
I just did a show for about 45 people downtown. Oh, it's another place you should go. Is the last bookstore downtown on Monday nights.
I love this shows that he's hooking me up with
Yeah.
right
Oh, yeah.
now.
Very cool.
The bookstore. Okay, I'll write that down later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you really get desperate on Sunday.
Perry doesn't want to go because it's too intelligent.
Yeah, they're going to expect me to. What's the word starts with F?
Funny.
Smart.
Yeah, those 2 words. I knew that in my.
Noggin.
Yeah.
They require smart.
Yeah, see, I would have to fake that. I always look intelligent, but then I get up and disprove it by opening my
And now
mouth.
you have, it used to be when did the stand-ups in town, you only had like 4 or 5 rooms. You had these smaller rooms around, but, now you have to bring your own crowd with you and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Back then, when we were doing stand-up, which is many, many moons ago, there were crowds waiting in line around the block.
You were doing
Yeah,
comedy.
now
He was doing
it's
comedy.
different. Now you have to bring your own crowd.
gotta
If
bring
you
your
want
own
to work
people.
room, you have to bring people to bring room. Well, we'll be glad to book you. How many people can you bring? And then the quality of the
Yeah,
comics.
but back
are
when you
horrible.
guys were doing comedy back then,
Yeah, back then.
there was only like 10 of you.
That's true.
Now there's hundreds of thousands of comedians.
I was thinking you were doing comedy BC before comedy.
We were comedy.
Yep, we didn't
Yeah, I
have
was a-
microphones. We just screamed from the top of the rock.
We used to go we used to hang around Melrose and go from the Improv and go up to the store and go by the Laugh Factory. You make that triple run. If you could time it right, you could do 3 shows in one night.
And if you're lucky, you could shoot down the Torrance for a quick set down there at the Crest.
Mm-hmm.
And who was that little transsexual guy that had his own show back then? He had a. Do you remember that?
That's
Louis
Perry Kurtz.
Anderson?
No.
Yeah, that was Perry Kurtz.
Chaz Bono? Wait a
No,
minute.
it was Louis Anderson. Hey.
Some very funny. He still has a TV show in Beverly Hills. He interviews some fairly big B stars.
Oh, the old
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
I know who you mean.
yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah.
think of his name. If anybody knows, call us.
Call us.
Hysterical.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I did evening at the Improv when they used to have it at the Santa Monica. Remember, they had it in the basement,
Oh, yeah.
and couldn't get headway with Bud or with Mark Linnell. I think that's how you say his name. Anyway, Bud and Mark. And so I got on the show, and there were like 12 people. We were the last show. The first show started off, we had 300 people in the audience. By the time we got to our set, there were 12 people.
Yeah.
That's
And
what you
so
want.
I went up there and I did the best I could with 12 people, and Bud stops me and shakes my hand. He goes, "Are you a regular at my place?" I said, "No, sir." "Well, you are now." You start.
Oh,
Got a call?
wait,
We have a
I
call?
think we've got a call coming
I feel
in.
like we just caught a fish.
I thought so.
fishing.
Fish on.
I thought the submarine just sank.
We got a barracuda.
All right, let's take a listen and see who we've got.
It's gone.
They're gone?
We lost the fish.
Well, that
Oh, you didn't really quick enough.
Fell off the hook.
Wow, we got a teaser. So that's what it's going to be like if someone live actually calls us.
Don't you have the phone number? We could call them back.
Yes, in case you want the number.
Yes, give the
Let
number
me
up
hold
there.
this up.
Hilarious.
I'll
You
read
lose
it
a
'cause
call and then
can't-
you call them back.
Yeah.
Because we're the only
Wait,
caller.
did you call?
Yeah.
Did you call us to talk? Call us at 661-347-0712. Let me hold that up. We're going to zoom it in.
We're really very open-minded and intelligent.
That's 661-347-0712.
That's a beautiful
very
piece
good.
of
Did
paper
that by
you got.
hand,
Rhymes
with my own
with
hand,
fuck
personally.
you.
So call us. We're live. All right, so Anybody got anything they want to plug? What do you got? You always have a lot of gigs. Don't you have some big thing with your wife coming up?
My stuff is so big. No. Oh wait.
Oh, fuck. Oh no. Hi.
Is that a phone call?
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
All right. Who are you?
What's that?
What's your name?
Andrew.
Andrew. What's up, Andrew?
Hi, Andrew.
Hey, is this Domino's?
I knew somebody
we're
was
on our
going
way,
to
don't
dominate.
Yeah. What would you like on your pizza? We have a special protein treatment I could put on there.
My phone number is 347-1667, and I'm looking for mushrooms.
Mushroom.
Mushrooms. You sound like you're doing mushrooms. So anything you'd like us to talk about other than pizza? Because now we're all fucking hungry. Thanks so much. That's what we needed.
Munchies, hallucinogens. How about hallucinogens? How about like your favorite acid trip?
Oh, I did acid when I was 11. Just that's
11?
a great
She thought it was a baby acid.
story, actually, and it's a true story. I grew up around a bunch of hippies, and they had big parties, and they asked 3 little kids to hold their acid. And a 8th grader, a 7th grader, and a 6th grader did acid together. 4 hits.
Wow.
I saw God, and I also looked in the mirror and saw a jokester. So that's what I became.
That's funny. You
Well,
said,
Andrew, thanks for giving us our impetus. We'll be working on weird acid trips.
I would like to add just one more thing. I grew
my
up in
God.
a house full of junkies. We never had a spoon.
That's funny.
Well, that was a good try.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was all right.
Nice
Enjoy your show. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thanks, Andrew.
it's funny. You took acid and saw God. I took mushrooms and saw Jesus.
So he said he never had a spoon. I guess he forked around a lot.
Very
Yeah.
Jewish of you to see God.
Yeah. That's funny.
Wow. I've done a lot of acid. I remember time, this was back in the 70s, yeah, where we each did 8 hits of acid. It was little barrels of orange sunshine. Each one was 2 hits, and we were each taking like 4 of them. And I remember me and my friends wandered 6 miles to a park in the middle of the night, came back to my house where I was still living with my parents, and they decided to walk on the cars to get to my house. So there's like 15 people walking over cars down my street at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, no, don't do this. I live here. Please. And I somehow disappeared, and they found me an hour later laying face down in the back seat of my car, holding a quarter in my hand, saying, please don't let me die, begging to a quarter. So don't do 8 hits of acid.
Yeah, keep it
4
to
is
4.
plenty.
One's
4 is
enough.
good.
Plenty,
One is
yeah.
enough. One is enough.
Mine were little palm trees with orange dots.
Oh.
Never forget.
Wow, at least they were pretty.
Yeah.
You know, I think to pep this show up, what you're going to have to do is have 3 naked women on this couch.
I can make a phone call.
I think that would be very...
I'm working
You can
on
ask
that.
Surrey. Escort. There are 3 in your area.
3 really...
That sounded just...
That was pretty
Wait,
good.
ask her a question. She's going to be Siri, the answering computer.
Oh, okay. Yes, can you find somebody for us this evening?
Looking for an escort? There are 3 in your area.
Wow. She's good, isn't she?
That's pretty good.
What are you doing tonight, baby? You sound hot.
I'm looking for escorts in your area.
Yeah, they
Well,
will.
Siri does.
That's right. Those computers will never fucking commit.
No.
It's unbelievable. You won't either, though.
Did you hear about that weird guy that looked for the computer voice? Because there's an actual woman that
No.
uses a computer voice.
Right.
And the guy was such a weirdo that he fell in love with the computer voice, and he went looking for this woman,
Oh my God.
and he found her.
Wow. What did she say when he found her?
It's not what did she... what did she look
It was
like?
Fran Drescher.
Ew. Oh, another.
Just some like German lady named Helga.
Oh my God. That's so weird.
I don't know if she was hot or not, but
He didn't care at that point. It was
he didn't
just a
care. He
voice.
just needed her.
Voices can. I mean,
There's a lot in a voice.
Oh yeah, I know. I've talked to people on the phone, especially I talk to women, and they go, "Hi," and I go, "How are you?" And they go, "Wow, you got a great voice." I go, "Thanks." And then they meet me and they say the same thing. I just thought there would be more of you. You're a lot smaller than
Lately,
I thought.
when I go out, I've been going to this very fancy steak place bar upstairs called Mastro's in Beverly Hills.
Oh.
And I go up there and I do my, I get all dialed up and I do my Barry White voice. Yes. Good evening. How are you?
Yes, that always works.
I was such a subtle, low voice, and it goes, ooh. And then after about 3 drinks, I sound like Jerry Lewis. So you want to go out now?
And that works better, actually.
I realized the power of my voice when I could sell anything over the phone. I used to sell porno to the Mormons. And
really did.
And I sold.
And they bought a lot.
Very, very powerful. And then I sold kung fu movies to the Navajos. It's amazing gigs. These are true stories.
You really sold kung fu movies to
sold kung fu movies
Were they
to the
bootleg?
Navajos.
They loved them, and they love third world violence, and the Mormons love porno. Don't let anybody tell you.
Oh yeah, well they're not supposed to think about it, so anything
they
they
keep their bike
can
up without
do.
a kickstand. But
Yeah. Wow.
Well, we've bought a lot of turquoise and silver roadside jewelry, so I'm glad they're buying something back.
Right.
Yeah, because she's from New Mexico.
I am from there.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
She's actually proud of that.
Yeah,
Well, I don't
very
know if that's-
proud.
Yeah, you
New
are
Mexico,
actually.
great.
Being a Jew in New Mexico, we had to
Yes.
build 2 synagogues to have one not to go to.
That's
But
right.
Hey, folks, if you can give us a rim shot out there, we're going to have to work that in for our future. I want a little button here
Just get
for
a
rim
symbol.
shots.
Yeah.
A symbol of
I
it.
think I have that on my phone. I think I have a couple sound effects. We'll have
think
to.
I just
So,
heard
are
it.
you in Albuquerque or?
Yeah, I was born in Albuquerque. I lived there, and then Taos also.
I love that area.
I just did a gig in Taos. It was great.
I've done no gigs in my home state.
Taos is great.
The last time I did a gig in Albuquerque, the guy also was a handicapper for the racetrack there. And we were doing our last night gig, and they said, Tony will be back. He's at the track trying to get your check.
Wow.
So
We'll
then,
never see that
So then he
check.
gave us half of it. Then he says, okay, if you go tomorrow, we got a good deal on a horse. He said, just bet the farm. And he said, so we had to go do that just to get our money.
I did a gig in Taos for Narcotics Anonymous. It was an amazing gig. They're some of the greatest people on the planet.
I love Narcotics Anonymous and AA. Those people talk real. It's real talk.
And they're very...
And they, you never really see, like, for comics, you never know what's going on with the audience. You have to read them, and they don't give a lot. So when you do those rooms, Narcotics, you actually know a lot more about that audience. You know that they've lost their lives due to their addiction, and so they've heard everything, and you can really speak into that crowd.
Well, they're very intelligent. Very, very incredible group of
Yeah,
people.
there's nothing they can't be with or hear.
Right. Very experienced at a lot of
But
it.
this
I was
pick
doing
up the
that
bar
gig
tab, though.
that
How
with
come?
you at that AA gig. That's once a year, the
that I do
annual.
every year down in Torrance.
This old Indian guy came up to me afterwards. He's like, that joke about losing your keys, he's like, you should tag that with, because we lose our homes and cars and children.
Here's how
Make
to
it a
make
little-
it even more pathetic. You think that was sad? Here's what it's really. I lost both my legs. These aren't even my legs, honestly, from that. So.
Did you do that last year?
I think it was a year before
I
that.
did it last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah, I've been
there
doing
after
this.
that.
This will be I think my 17th year I've been doing comedy for them. The AA Anonymous, the Alcoholics Anonymous South Bay down in
Roundup.
Torrance. It's the Roundup, they call it.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know what they're rounding up, but they're rounding
well,
up.
they get Roundup for that. So,
Yeah, do you think that these pick up at least one bar tab? Come on.
well, hey, come on.
Oh.
Seriously, alcoholics are bad like that. Speaking of the barrel, I had an alcoholic with me last week that pretended like he was buying me drinks and then turned around at the end, declined credit card, and guess who was stuck with the bill?
Oh,
this
boy.
girl.
I knew I had that in there somewhere. Yeah, I remember that fiasco last week.
You remember that?
Yeah, and you wound up paying like a $53 bill. Or
Actually,
something.
I paid $15. That's what I had, and then some other guy came to the rescue.
Oh,
That's
good
nice.
deal. What a weasel. Comes in there with a bad credit card and you had to cover him.
Yeah, and was like, knew. He was drunk enough that I go, did you know you had nothing on that credit card? He goes, yeah. Just smiling at me and laughing drunkenly. It was awful.
Sounds crazy.
It was so creepy.
You finally got a chance
I
to use all your sound
finally,
effects off your phone.
Yeah.
Phone finally pays off.
Oh my God, it's still going.
Wow, we had a constant loop in there. That was weird.
That was good.
Wow.
Wow. It was something from the ether world.
It was.
Yeah.
It was like divine interweb.
This takes me back when behind this mic stand and everything. It's when Dante Garza, God bless him, he's gone now. But Dante and I were doing a gig in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri, and we actually kidnapped a radio station.
Huh.
And this is back in I guess the early 80s. And Dante used to be a DJ in Houston for the college and also for a small station. And we do this gig at the comic strip. And the reason why I know this because I almost got arrested. So you had to know exactly where you were at the time. But anyway, we did these morning shows to promote the club for the weekend. And here we are after a full night of drinking the night before at 7 o'clock in the morning. And the DJ was the most nasty person you ever want to meet.
Yeah, at that hour of the morning, of course.
Oh, yeah. And, he's bragging the fact that they were the first automated radio station in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. And we're going,
look over.
So we're in this little cubby hole about half the size of this couch. And Dante, if you didn't know Dante, was a very big boy. He was like, you know Dante. He was 300 pounds easy, and he's in there, and I'm in there, and the DJ, and he says, okay, we're going to do about another 15 minutes of songs, and you come back, we'll do 10 seconds, and you're going to do another 15 minutes of songs, come back, and we're sitting there hungover going, I don't want to be here. So when he left, I looked at the door, had a plexiglass window, and the latch was on the inside. The lock was on the inside, and the hinge of the door were on the inside. So I said, do you know how to run this thing? He goes, yeah. I said, well, let's get the hell out of here and do our promo right now. And so we latched the door, and we started on. We stopped the radio. Next thing you know, and we got the helicopter on the scene. We're doing Man on the Street, Elvis sightings. And we started doing every voice that we could think of in characters. Meanwhile, the guy's banging on the door. Yeah, get out of here, you piece of shit. Get out of here. What are you doing? He just goes, we do 20 minutes with no breaks, no music coming on. Next thing you know, we see cops in the waiting room. They got their handcuffs out. And so finally, we kept plugging the show. Well, this is Conrad Lawrence. This is Dante Garza. We may be at the show tonight or in jail, So anyway, hope you enjoyed what you heard tonight. And we walk out, right? And this guy's in our face. He's in our face, and he is just jumping all over us. All of a sudden, this little white guy couldn't be any more 5 feet tall, right? Goes, Who's the one in charge of this? Who did this? And he says, now you're in for it. This is the owner of the station. And the DJ goes, I had nothing to do with it, sir. They did it. They did it all on their own. It's their fault. He goes, that was the funniest shit I ever heard in my life. Come on, boys. Let's go get something to drink. So when they did that book,
sorry.
I killed.
I was thinking about that. It'd be a Killer Road story.
Yeah.
I killed, or
I killed. I told Rich Scheidner. I said we told him that story. He goes, "Okay, you win." I said, "Oh, I win what?" He goes, you're the only one in comics that got away with a federal charge.
There you go.
Did you actually get in the book?
He said when he'd do the second version, he would do it in the book. He said, that's a great story.
Yeah, the second book's never going to go out.
No.
Yeah.
This monitor is right in front of us, so I keep looking at it because I'm one of those awful people that, like, if there's a mirror, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, but also it reminds me of, like, Skype. So the whole time you're supposed to be, like, looking at the person, but I'm just looking at the box with me in it.
Right.
Every time I look, I'm looking down. I'm never looking up.
Well, because you're a fucking giant.
That's why I'm looking this way.
Now it
Looking over at Perry. And I'm very jealous of Perry, by the way.
We just lost our video feed completely
here we
now.
go. Yeah. I'm really jealous of Perry, really.
That's because
Why?
How old are you, Perry?
I'm 61.
You have the biggest full of head of hair, and I'm just jealous of you because I have...
I picked up on that real quick.
From here, it's good. From the back part, it's...
You're two-tone.
Yeah. Pretty much. I look like Pepe Le Pew.
Is that deliberate?
Actually, my mom had that same thing, so I got my mom's front and then my...
She had a receding hairline, too?
Your mom's front, your dad's back.
Yeah, my mom's front, my dad's back.
It's very weird.
I'm not plugged in.
It seems loose.
That's what he said.
Hey.
Never to me.
I know. No one would ever say to you.
I have a
that
kung
it's
fu
loose.
grip.
That's what I heard. I heard that you do the Kegel exercise where you put the pencil in, then you squeeze it, and you took it out, and the pencil was sharpened.
It's like Jedi mind tricks.
Right, and the eraser was chewed off.
How do you think I got through college?
That's true. At least you were focused.
Check,
you knew
please.
the point. So we have
I did get lead poisoning, though.
No, they're calls. It's
No, but 9 people.
9 people.
And probably none of them can afford their phone bill.
Well, let's take a little break. Can you pull up the My Love Connection video? That'll cover us for about 7 minutes.
I brought my...
I think that's 5 minutes, 36
I've got
minutes.
my CD, my DVD I did for finding me a sponsor.
All right, well, while we're running
What's
this,
that?
we'll see if we can load that into the
blow that
system
in there,
and
yeah.
show that to both
Since
of
I
our
am
listeners.
a professional golfer.
That's true.
Yes, I am.
Has the number gone down yet? Where's it going?
What are we at? 7 viewers right now?
Let's try to put more people
We have
to sleep.
it's like 4. We have 4 people
Now 4
watching.
people.
Comedy is a bit.
Hi, all 4 of you.
We need to talk more about dick and pussy.
More dick and pussy jokes. We'll be doing about that right after Love Connection coming up here. All right.
To know that she really isn't what she appears to be. Please welcome Shoshana Leeser. Hi, Shoshana. How are you? Fine, have a seat. And they voted for which one they thought would be best for. We're going to take a look at all 3 men again, catch you up today. First, it was Perry. He was born in Philadelphia. He now lives in San Francisco.
That comes naturally. I don't plan much that I'm going to say with them. But something happens, I see I can relate to something and make a joke out of it. And I feel that humor fits almost everywhere. You can even make jokes in the bedroom. In fact, a lot of the women I go out with laugh in there.
He was raised on Long Island, and he enjoys reading and riding bicycles. And then Steve likes surfing and Sunday breakfast.
Cut his hair with a weed eater.
Okay, now the audience vote was recorded yesterday. We'll get to that a little bit later on. But now Shoshana is going to tell us who she chose.
I chose Perry.
Chose Perry.
Like there was a big choice.
Perry's backstage. Let's say hello to Perry Kurtz. Hi, Perry.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good.
Born-
Josh.
Why don't you tell us about the date before we get carried away here?
First it was great finding out he lived in San Francisco, 500 miles away.
Well, at least you know you're geographically compatible. What?
530 miles away.
So we set up a date, and he was supposed to pick me up at 2 o'clock. And here's 2:30 and 3 o'clock. He's an hour late. I did not know what
530 miles. I mean, you got to give the guy a break. How come you didn't call? I mean, since you were going to be late anyway.
Well, I drove down from San Francisco on my motorcycle, which was not an easy ride.
On a motorcycle?
Well, I'm a Mako guy. I can handle it.
Well, can you pronounce it? Well, anyway, you drove down on your motorcycle. What happened?
So I drove down, and I go to the address, and I had the right address, but evidently I had the wrong apartment number. So I jumped on the bike, and as I was pulling away, some guy comes running out and says, "Hey, are you looking for Shoshana?"
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
Really?
Really?
Who'd you think he was?
I thought he was her boyfriend coming out to kick my butt.
Poor guy.
Well, who was this guy, anyway?
Yeah, tell him who he was. Why don't you?
Come on, you're in a Three's Company. Give me a break.
What'd you think of her in person after 530 miles and frustration?
Well, I thought she was pretty cute. I was really impressed. She looked good. She sounded sweet. And she described herself to me. She said that she was, on the phone, she said she was kind of busty. And I said, well, you know, I can handle that. Here's the big one. Listen up.
We got off to a great start. Well, we went to the hotel. Oh, not the hotel.
Thank you.
The restaurant.
So you went to the restaurant?
We went to the restaurant, and I got us lost going out there, of course. But all through dinner, in between the nice, serious conversation, he kept making comments about my bust and my body and what he'd like to do with it, and I kept blushing.
He did?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
I'm serious, and I'm going, oh, please, you know.
Being a little forward, you figure? I mean,
Well, it was just a joke. Actually, I was being forward. I was joking around. You know, I like to push a woman to see how far she'll go before she starts pushing back. I like to see if she's got a strong will, and she does, and she didn't take it, and she said, shut your mouth or I'll hurt you.
break your face.
It was something similar to that, but I asked her if she really would, and she said no.
How'd this date end?
Well, we walked around Seaport Village afterwards. It was foggy, and it was kind of romantic. We sat on a bench and talked and cuddled a little bit, and...
A little bit?
A lot bit. And he kissed me.
The seals were applauding.
The seals were applauding?
So we had a nice goodnight kiss, and talked about wanting to see each other again, and...
And what? Where'd he go?
Well, I was supposed to find him a place to stay, and I sort of fell down on the job, so I just directed him towards Hotel Strip, and he was on his own.
Yeah, it's like, have a nice time, sailor. See you next time.
Let's Let's take a look and see who the audience picked for you, he said. Oh, dear. I'm glad of this. I really am. Perry got it, 42%.
Another big shocker.
Audience advice, be happy to pay for the date. If not, you're on your own. What are you going to do?
Absolutely, I want to.
How about it, Perry?
All right, let's boogie.
Come on out.
Notice the chest toupee. Chuck, look
Yeah,
out.
next week
Watch
we're going to
out
move,
for
get rid of this. I'll be right there, and we'll get more, all of us in there.
Sit down before you hurt yourself, will you? Come out here and strain your back like that.
You know who somebody said they ran into the other day? It's Wink
The
Martindale.
SEALs were applauding. I'll never forget that
Did they
line.
kill him?
It was when one stood up and yelled, "Next!" for that guy.
Thank you both for coming on the show. Will you please keep in touch?
Oh, we will.
I bet we never hear from you again. Anyway, thank you. We have a nice gift for both of you. Thanks again. We're going to come right back with another couple. Stay here.
Yeah,
That
so
was when you were on the Love Connection.
that
I
was
forgot about that.
1985.
Did you get laid?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yeah, that's when she slipped on the inside. We went to find a not a hotel, a restaurant. We were told, don't say that you guys had sex. So, of course, she was nervous, and she slipped. Later on, when...
She didn't slip. Women don't slip like
Yeah,
that.
I know.
That was deliberate.
Yeah, but when she, later on, he said that, when I said the SEALs were applauding, Chuck started to cry. He was laughing so hard. And they had to stop the tape, make him up, and start it again. So when you watch it, there's just all this laughter, and then it's like talking again.
I always
I need an
wondered-
escort. Here it comes.
Here it comes. It's coming.
Okay, one of these escorts is a little ways from you.
Wow.
You hear that?
Now
Wow.
you do it.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God, she's here.
Wow.
Holy shit, Siri. Come on in.
Damn, that bitch is good.
Come on in. What's your
Wow.
name, honey?
Check this out.
It's not so much your name. How much do you charge?
How much do you charge?
Let's go with for you, because your glasses and you look a little like Lisa Loeb. I'll give you a freebie.
Wow.
I get a freebie, guys.
And we got a camera, too.
Woohoo! It's
No
Twisted
cameras. All right.
Scissor
Can I?
Sisters
Is it okay
tonight.
can I sketch it on paper?
I'm gonna
It's all
sleep
right if I
good
draw it?
tonight.
I'm going to go down the street and get some dollar bills. That's what I
All right.
I'm gonna sleep great.
I'm going to get ready for you, baby.
Thank you.
Oh, all right.
Don't wash it too much. I like it a little funky.
Yeah, dating,
That's right.
Dating is tough now.
I like a little zest.
A little tang.
Little tang. Little zest.
A little tang in the
If it's not
poontang.
there, if it's not too clean, it's a little disappointing.
Yeah, when they get all sterilized, you want a little flavor in
Little
there, you
flavor.
know? That's why some guys grow mustaches. They're called flavor savers.
There's one quote. Somebody once said, licking a clean pussy is tasteless.
Listen, you guys. It's getting a little dirty over there.
For you?
And here's a guy who's married who's already got the pussy anytime he wants to. And
That's
he's like,
right.
"There's two guys here that are looking to get some."
That pussy doesn't count.
That's right. Doesn't?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Counts in a lot of ways.
Well, for you, dick would count. Or pussy.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, who are you looking at?
I'm looking at her.
Oh, I'm seeing.
This was such a crazy menage of a comedy clusterfuck that's happening right
Poor
now.
Chad.
There's me and 3 Q-tips.
Yeah.
It's happening.
You're the only woman I know who could handle this type of work, though.
This is easy for me.
I know. That's what I mean.
I love old guys. They repeat stories a lot.
I know. That's what I mean.
But you're going to love me.
I know. That's what I mean.
We already heard your stories.
But it's like
So I
whenever
got
you,
left.
you're like, dang, you were old when I met you. You take a long time to die.
Yeah, just ask Perry. He's still here.
That's right.
You hear about that French grocery guy, 94, just married someone 42?
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
How old?
Planning on having kids.
Really?
Yeah.
I think isn't she one of them? Wow.
Yeah, he is having kids.
94.
Quite an
and she's
ego.
94.
90.
Billionaire.
Oh, that's
Oh, well,
why.
there you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
When you have money, you can have
Yeah, she
anything.
married him for love.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just like Anna Nicole.
Love of money.
Yeah, love of money. Yeah, that's usually my case. When I meet somebody very attractive, you know, the conversation runs to how much do you make, right away.
I never ask that.
Yeah.
Too obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will wait till they start offering it up.
And you go, let me run your card for you. I'll take that over. Can you give me a balance check on this?
That's like that. I went to Mastro's and I met this beautiful I thought Russian girl sitting next to me. Actually, I'm standing next to her. And so the first part of the evening is not each other, you know. Then after a couple of cocktails, we're talking. And then after I buy 2 martinis, she's almost in my lap, you know. And so I said to her, so where are you from? She goes, are you from Russia? Because no, I'm from Ukraine. I said, oh, really? So I said, so you're over here for an extension? You're looking to get an extension? She goes, yes, I'm looking to get extension. Either work, I said, or a husband. Yes, that's true. And so I said, well, how's that going? She goes, well, are you single? I said, yeah, I'm single. She goes, oh, maybe we should get to know each other. I said, well, you know what's going to happen. We like each other. We'll fall in love. We get married. And after 3 years, when you get your green card, you'll leave. She goes, yes, darling, it's true, but it'd be a good 3 years.
That's right. As a friend of mine said, he married a woman from out of the country so she could live here. And he said he was the only person he knew who had a marriage license with an expiration date.
That's true.
That's a good idea.
Up and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a time on it, you know, and then if you want to renew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last thing she said to me goes, so are you rich? And I said, no, I'm not rich. She goes, it's nice knowing you.
Goodbye, my friend. Fuck you and your poor ass. Come back when you have
All of a sudden, she has a Mexican accent. She leaves.
Hey, wait,
You know that
fuck
when you went to
senor.
the bar?
We got to get going now.
I don't need your bullshit, senor. I'm the fuck out of here. What the hell is this bullshit?
Mira, que te lo dije. I told you not to waste my time like that.
That's right. Well, anybody got any gigs they want to plug? Coming
Yes,
up this
May
week?
7th, Laugh Factory, Dinah, Mockery Mondays. I'm doing it with Mary Lynn Rashkub
Wow.
and Christian Sherm, and we have fantastic comedians lined up,
Including yourself.
including myself.
There
I'll
you
be
go.
hosting it, and yeah, May 7th, and it's every first Monday or so of the month.
Can I be in it because I look so much like a lesbian?
That's a good. Well, you don't have to be a lesbian to be on the show.
Well, I could-
He's a pussy anyway. But
oh, and I was going to wash before the show, but I didn't want to have a bad taste. All right, so the Laugh Factor, that's great. That's a regular thing, too.
That's a monthly thing. There's
Once a
other
month.
shows like, you know, you can meet me at the Dive at the Barrel.
Right, we all we're at the
geez,
barrel. I'm at
yes.
the Barrel every Sunday night hosting
Every Sunday
that
night.
in Sherman Oaks on Van Nuys, and that's
Yeah.
always fun. Never know if somebody's going to get stabbed during their set.
yeah, Klondike. What's the guy's name?
I
Klondike
stopped-
Clay or Bigfoot? What was his name?
Bigfoot was there. One guy he was 6'5", weighed 300 and
No,
50
Sasquatch.
pounds.
That's what-
Sasquatch. He
Yeah.
actually identified himself and was just yelling obscure shit. Get out of the pool! Turn this car around! And every time I tell him to be quiet, he would go like this, go, and turn towards the wall like a bad child.
That's true.
And he kept apologizing, but then he would just yell weird shit out of nowhere. That's the good thing about comedy. We never know what the fuck we're going to get up in front of. Isn't that the best part?
Hey, I stopped a fight there last time.
That's right.
Did you see that fight I stopped?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
That's power.
I think I have that on my phone.
But we're plugging shows. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
David.
I got a show coming up. I'm playing. I'm doing comedy in Temple with
In a synagogue.
with my wife's Cuban Jewish Friday night jazz Shabbat band.
So nobody will see that.
No, actually, dig. It's being filmed by Jewish television. 3-camera shoot. Very big deal this Friday night. In Santa Clarita, right here. We're in Santa Clarita, right?
Yeah, we're in Santa Clarita, Valencia,
Yeah.
Magic Mountain
this
area.
coming Friday. I'm playing the shofar over Cuban Jewish music. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. I hit a button.
So if any of those 4 guys are not beating off and want to come see a good show, come out Friday night.
That's pretty. If they're beating off to this, they are really desperate. Well, Dinah's here. She always looks good on camera.
There is an escort 3 miles from you.
You get
But
good at that.
She's coming. Speaking of coming,
Yeah, I haven't heard that in a while.
there's
either.
my opening.
Thank you.
So aside from me being here every Monday and every week, we're going to have three different comics, and we're going to do some live shows, live comedy shows in some big clubs, and you guys are welcome to come out. This is every Monday at 10. On Wednesday, I will be at the John Lovitz Club in Universal City Walk at 8 p.m. On Thursday, Flappers Comedy Club in the Yoo-Hoo Room. Woohoo! A little tiny room in the back at 7:30. Then at Beauty Bar in Hollywood at 9 o'clock that night. And I don't remember what the fuck
Well,
else I'm doing.
my shows I got coming up. I'll be next week at the Greyhound bus station, so make sure you...
Conrad will be playing Greyhound.
Actually, you know, I'm over at Weddington Golf and Tennis. I teach there. I'm a professional golfer.
If anybody needs to know how to play, he
Know how
can
to play.
definitely show
I
you.
work with a lot of the retired celebrities. I get
Yeah.
all the retired celebrity guys. You know, and so it's kind of fun working with those guys. You can always tell when they need a lesson because they're coming with the residual check. So.
Wow, yeah, that's the kind of women I need to date. Retired women, you know, women that don't have the energy to try to get away.
Can I plug one more show? I'm going to be at the Unibrow, the Flappers Yoo-Hoo Room Unibrow show on Wednesday this week.
Ooh.
In case any of those 9 people are still with us.
Wow.
I think we're down to 4.
Yeah, and we're going.
Yeah,
down.
Did you ever check out my video on YouTube, or I did the video that's
your demo? I
my
saw
demo
that.
for finding a sponsor. I'm playing a lot of senior events this year, and so last year I did it, and I got actually 2 sponsors, and I got a chance to go play all the way over in England.
Wow.
Dinah is just waiting. Go ahead, Dinah.
It's just funny every time I hear senior.
Thanks. You're just waiting for us all to die at once, aren't you?
Just want to dance on our grave.
No, I just want you to be old and surround me forever.
I did a lot of assisted living homes.
we could do that.
I did these assisted living homes, and when I would tell a joke,
They should call it assisted dying.
then the people who could hear the joke would tell it to the people who couldn't hear the joke. So you could hear the joke going around, and I heard that fucking joke like 10 times.
You go out, get something to eat, come back.
And 9 times I go, what'd he say?
I told people I was on the assisted living tour.
Assisted living. I like the fact I'm sitting next to her because she has a nice chest on her, and that's why my legs are crossed, because right now I feel very comfortable next to her.
I'm starting to feel sorry for you.
Yeah, this is not going the way I thought.
Well, we sure got warmed up at the end of the show.
Oh, those are the parts falling. So, how are we doing, Chris? How are you today? By the way, everybody, say hi to Chris. Chris,
hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
You did a great job, Chris.
Chris is our producer here, the creator of Radio Buzzed.
I try.
And
You
he
can really
tries.
cut this thing together.
He's doing it all tonight. He's got nobody running anything. He's doing everything. He's running the mics. He's running the mixing. He's running the board. He's taking the
That
pictures.
camera runs itself.
He gets to bang the escort.
Wow.
Yeah, you get to bang the escort. That's what, what the hell was that?
Well, you know, I'm like Mr. Wizard back here. I just turn the knobs and make it happen, and something.
Do not pay
will come
attention
out.
to the man behind the curtain.
There is nobody behind the curtain. It's an illusion.
There's no curtain.
Huh. That's deep.
Wow.
Wow.
The Wizard of Oz.
Well, fuck you people.
It's
We're
like
having
Cocoon
fun.
on weed.
It's down to 3 people, but us 3 people are having a great time, yes.
Well, I want to thank all
5
you
people.
all you guys for being here. The escort, you're going to be the applause. On the end, right here, we got Mr. David Zasloff. Over there in the middle, the lovely and talented Dinah Leffert, offering her love to everyone in the sweetest way possible. And on the far end, we have got the incredible
fashion plate, yes,
Conrad Lawrence.
Thank you so much for having me.
That is the sound.
That was my last show.
That is the sound of one hand clapping. That's the Zen clap.
That was my last show.
So I think we're right up. We got a couple minutes. Anything else we need to plug? Should I mention the Radio Buzz Crew, the street team that comes out? If you want to join that, go to the website, log in, put your name down. The street team will come out and cover your events. They give away all kinds of freebies, shirts, hats, condoms, contraceptives. You know, the Polish ladies just want you to know the birth control pill. Put it in your mouth, otherwise it's going to fall out. Just want you to know.
You got to swallow, right?
The escort wants to plug her email, whore@whore.com.
That's right. Please put your log in when you get there.
Put your log in.
And for you guys that are looking for the really strange women, I do a great line for you. I don't know if this is going to work. You walk up and say, "Hi, do you care if they ever find your body?" That warms them right up. Another good opening line is, "Are your eyes sensitive to sperm?" Now, you're laughing, but it answers 2 questions, because either they're going to say yes, which means no, you're not getting any, or they might say no, which means you might be. So just want to leave you. Anybody else have any great words of wisdom you want to leave with?
When you give a good blowjob, you have to cup the balls. Make sure you cup the balls.
That's important.
That's
My mom
important.
used to say that too.
Actually, better than that is never take your mouth off the dick.
Oh, and you gotta love it. You gotta love it.
And when the light goes over, the head goes on over the bed, that means it's your time to get off.
Wow, I think I'm ready to get off right now. I think I just did, actually. Well, thanks. We want to thank all of you for tuning in and listening, and for all those calls.
No, it was
we really want to
fantastic.
especially thank Andrew. And I'll call him later and thank him for calling. And tune in. Keep watching. I'm at PerryFunny.com. That's my website. Also, Perry Kurtz on Facebook. David, are you on Facebook yet?
Yeah, but I don't pay attention. I'm too old for that shit.
All right, so he's on Facebook only in black and white. Dinah, you're on Facebook under what name?
Dinah Leffert, Leffert. Dinah, Dinah.
Isn't it unbelievable? And
Get
Conrad?
to know it.
Conrad, you're at Conrad Lawrence.
Conrad Lawrence, yeah.
At Dinah Leffert on Twitter also.
Wow. I
am known for plugging some zingers. Thanks.
Yeah. I didn't even have a sound effect ready for that one.
No, that was good. I'm sitting here looking at my chops.
You just don't take them out and lick them and put them back in. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, that's it for us, guys. Thanks for being here. You all take care of yourselves or whatever the fuck you had in mind. And we'll be back next week. Have a good one. Turtle do.
Come on over here. You look like two swinging young guys. What do you like best about this area?
Dude, nothing, man.
Nothing?
No, it's cool when it's like the sun's out.
It's at night.
It's at night in my house.
In your house? Do you have an address? Maybe we could all like come over there and party tonight.
It's a private party with me and my lady. You know what I'm talking about?
Just you and your lady. Oh, just you and your lady. Well, I think we've got some real swingers here, and if you girls are watching, what are your guys' names?
Dude, Mark Portnoff.
Kevin Oliphant. Mark and Kevin, two swingers, are out for a good time. Watch for them. Coming to a place near you. Excuse me, folks. Could we speak to you for just a minute? Maybe not.